The 8th house, where the soul is called to evolve through its exploration of the hidden and taboo aspects of life. Now, this is not a house of literal death. We can't really predict the exact timing of passing, but rather a symbolic realm where we confront the aspects of ourselves that we may wish to ignore. So our fears, demons, shadows, and desires. And though this may in a way sound similar to the 12th house, it is not. 8th house dwells in the undercurrents, in what is intimate, in a way eternal. It is not just about change, it is about destiny. It allows us to transform into a more authentic version of ourselves amidst life's inevitable cycles of change. This is a house of death and rebirth, but like I said previously, not in a literal sense. Death is symbolic, shedding old skin, surrendering into something unknown or deeper. It is the house where ego dissolves and true self arises. This is a house of Scorpio sign. It is associated with planet Mars and Pluto in modern astrology. It governs the organs of generation, death, in a way reproduction and birth, as well as growth. This house actually embodies the concept of rebirth, as through understanding and facing our innermost fears and desires, usually we can emerge stronger. So it is more than physical regeneration. It shows personal evolution and understanding the complexities of emotional lives. If anything, the energy of 8th house encourages us to embrace personal evolution and take proactive steps rather than passively accept our fate. Now, this house doesn't really have the best reputation and is feared mostly due to its association with deep emotional or psychological wounds, occult practices, potential for some significant loss, among other things. But this house also represents influence of partnerships, as it reveals how we share resources and confront challenges. The energy of this house encourages adaptability, transforming fear into a tool for personal evolution that connects us to universal truths of existence. Now, strong 8th house in a chart indicates a pronounced interest in money, status, and power, often leading individuals to an unbalanced emphasis on material matters. And this focus can result in suppression of feelings in various aspects of life. Now, those with many planets in the 8th house are likely to experience a series of actions and many crises throughout life. For instance, if Mars is positioned in this house, he is strong, and it indicates confrontations, the potential for injury and wounds, danger, and with some aspects with certain planets, it can show fall in military field, for example. And when Jupiter occupies this house, it offers counterbalance, though it may complicate predictive insights or prognosis. Ruler of any house shows where the energy and action is directed. And if the ruler of the 8th is linked, for example, with the 5th house, emphasis will likely be on love and games. A connection with the 6th house indicates sickness, and if Mars is in either of these two houses, there is a strong possibility for surgical operations. If 8th house is in connection with the 12th house, this indicates spending time in different institutions. And again, if Mars is in one of these two houses and afflicted, this will indicate criminal activities. Now, Mars may be the one planet to pay the most attention to, and by ignoring the implications of Mars, well, this could in a way conceal critical life paths. Saturn's presence here indicates delays and obstacles, but not for everyone. In short and very broad, before I move on to the ascendants, the 8th house in aspects with celestial bodies reveals different insights. So with Sun, it can show strong life force and vitality, though relatively short, according to some authors. With Moon, deep-seated fears and tragedies of the soul. With Mercury, threats and miscommunication. With Venus, kind endings and reconciliations. With Mars, fanatics, injuries, sudden endings, intolerance, abrupt conclusions. With Jupiter, mostly peaceful life, but family legacies that may come to a close. With Uranus, elements of paralysis can be seen, sudden endings and disruptions, also strokes. And with Neptune, unexplained endings. Okay, now let's move on to the ascendants. So for Capricorn Ascendant individuals, Sun is the ruler of the 8th house, which is in Leo. Now this indicates sudden events and transformations in life, periods of turmoils after which one usually gains confidence. These people experience financial gains through inheritance or joint ventures. The intensity of their lives brings health concerns and unexpected changes, so self-care and regular physical activity should be prioritized. Also, staying hydrated is important for these people. Overall, these are generally impulsive individuals, sometimes having cataclysmic lifestyles. And I would like to mention here that every sign has a little bit of some other element. Capricorn is an earth sign but has a hint of the water element. This can be quite useful in chart interpretation. For individuals with Sagittarius Ascendant, Moon rules the 8th house in Cancer, and this suggests heightened emotional sensitivity. Actually, this is almost a defining trait. They are interested in mystical subjects and have instinctive drive to explore emotional and financial matters. They experience events that prompt meaningful personal growth, but this requires a disciplined approach to manage emotional fluctuations. Also, they have somewhat naturally unsettled mentality, which leads to inner discomfort, particularly within their home life, which is a world of constant change and difficulties. But all of this, even very painful losses, gives growth, and the moon's nature allows swift renewal. For those with Aquarius Ascendant, Mercury rules the 5th house and the 8th house, which is in Virgo. And these individuals have a unique blend of enhanced creative thinking and intuitive abilities. Now, this also indicates originality, intelligence, not being afraid to think differently or to be unconventional. Their mind often leads to potential gains through speculative investments or inheritance, which reveals a knack for leveraging opportunities in unexpected ways. The absence of judgment or harm directed towards other people gives them a natural talent for occult sciences and counseling, but this will mostly depend on aspects Mercury receives. Financial stability will be challenged if Mercury is afflicted, and their luck is usually unsteady. To enhance and nurture their abilities and presence, these people should surround themselves with green color. For Scorpio Ascendant individuals, Mercury rules the 11th house and the 8th house, which is in Gemini. This encourages financial gains through strategic alliances or through others' resources. They face health challenges which can arise from over-analyzing situations, which causes stress. Good and in some cases exceptional negotiation skills allow them to get what they want, even if it means pursuing goals through less acceptable methods. They may find themselves being involved in some secretive and dishonest activities, and usually this stems from desire to go beyond conventional boundaries. Persuasive abilities can be enhanced by wearing emerald crystal. For those with Pisces Ascendant, Venus rules the 3rd house and the 8th house, which is in Libra. Now, these individuals experience emotional sensitivity, which can fuel their creative talents, especially in artistic fields. The influence of Libra 8th house deepens this capacity, almost revealing hidden sources of financial gain through creative endeavors. Now, their spiritual growth is in a way fused with their artistic expression, making them more attuned to the divine. But this is not without challenges, as they experience irregular success and talent, and they need to learn to detach from their desires to purify their creative instincts. Some suffering can be seen in these people, but that push and pull of satisfaction of suffering becomes a powerful teacher, in a way a source of inspiration. For Libra Ascendant individuals, Venus rules the 1st and the 8th house, which is in Taurus. So this indicates a more introverted nature, drawing focus inward towards personal transformation and spiritual exploration. These people have a deep understanding of hidden realms. They have intensive relationships and they prefer to keep their feelings private and secretive. They're also prone to emotional possessiveness. There is a strong possibility of radical life changes, which encourage them to discover their authentic selves on a deeper level. They may find themselves identifying strongly with the resources of others. In a way, the element of the unexpected adds another layer and intrigue to their life journey. For those with Aries Ascendant, Mars rules 1st and the 8th house, which is in Scorpio. Now, these individuals have immense courage and almost unparalleled determination to face challenges head-on, but these impulsive actions can result in sudden accidents or disputes. Noticeable are fluctuations in shared finances or inheritances. Now, they possess regenerative abilities and the strength to confront the unknown, which often leads them to necessary endings, which cause personal transformations, but these are required to create a new identity, so to speak. They're also prone to rapid change of thoughts and ideas. And on Tuesdays, wearing something red is recommended. For Virgo Ascendant individuals, Mars rules the 3rd house and the 8th house, which is in Aries. Now, these people are natural risk takers, having adventurous and somewhat bold spirit, but they usually have health problems which are related to the reproductive system. Now, despite these concerns, they're able to tackle challenges but are prone to accidents. Usually, they have penetrating mind and a talent for deep research. Now, this analytical nature combined with Aries' dynamic energy helps them to purify their ego, which can help them to transform challenges into opportunities. For those with Taurus Ascendant, Jupiter rules the 11th house and the 8th house, which is in Sagittarius. Now, these people have a capacity to handle unexpected shifts in life effectively. Financial stability comes through inheritance, so here is that reliable resource. They have optimistic nature and a natural ability to gain from difficulties or setbacks. These are just stepping stones for them. But they can be opportunists, greedy, or miserly to make up for any fears or vulnerabilities, and this approach can bring them temporary fulfillment, but it usually results in unsteady existence. For individuals with Leo Ascendant, Jupiter rules the 5th and the 8th house, which is in Pisces, and these people have a deep understanding of life. They're quite spiritually aware and can challenge societal taboos. This enables them to create lasting legacies, especially in the realm of artistic expression and transformative healing practices. Now, they have a natural affinity for occult knowledge, and they might engage in spiritual practices that illuminate hidden truths, sharing luck and knowledge with other people. But their wealth is unpredictable and unsteady, and they may experience sudden wealth through speculations, but then face financial instability due to impulsive decisions. While they can achieve impressive results, often their reckless approach leads to destruction. For Gemini Ascendant individuals, Saturn rules the 9th house and the 8th house, which is in Capricorn. Here, delays are often seen in shared resources and inheritances. These people face many challenges, coping with mounting stress, which causes health problems. So meditations can be very helpful, and some seek spirituality as a result of crises and difficulties at some point in life, usually later, as their understanding evolves through hardships. Now, despite their initial vulnerability in faith, which may manifest as dogmatism, they may find their spiritual lives blossoming, but like I said previously, probably later in life, as younger years are typically marked by focusing on skill development. Also, their fortune is usually unstable. For those with Cancer Ascendant, Saturn rules the 7th and the 8th house, which is in Aquarius. Now, these individuals experience many fluctuations in partnerships or in joint ventures. Financial gains through inheritances are possible, though usually delayed, but these bring stability over time. They want to explore spirituality. Health concerns related to digestion or some chronic issues can arise. There is a tendency of setting up a wall of protection, erecting emotional barriers that may manifest as coldness or indifference. Now, these people can also benefit financially through marriage, but at a cost of the termination of the relationship or with a high emotional price. Their diseases usually have emotional links, so it is important to pay attention to mental well-being. For these people, embracing the love and companionship of animals can offer a healing path. So astrology only indicates what might or will happen, depends on how you look at it, and our free will should be used to change the natural course of events. Natal chart indicates the pattern on which our life is built, and if we are not familiar with this pattern, we are potentially blurring it. Astrology does point our potentials, limitations, and capabilities, but how far we shall develop useful or desirable traits and overcome those which are not much wanted depends on our free will. In other words, astrology and our natal chart points the way and can help to maintain balance between the physical and the mental. With the help of astrology, we can use our free will and our mind both to avert dangers and to convert opportunities into our advantage. It opens wide fields of important knowledge regarding human life and enlarges our sphere of consciousness, thus enabling us to be masters, not servants or victims of circumstances. Now, destiny brings us experience, but free will determines what use we shall make of these experiences in shaping our lives. Fate is at the door, knocking, but it is up to us to let her enter or keep it out. So astrology serves as a guide that points to the shortest, usually best and safest route to a given goal. And those who either conform to the current of circumstances or resist it without strategic adjustment and deciding between alternatives might as well be termed unlucky or unfortunate. Life is essentially an evolution, fostered or stimulated by our visions and will. Character is destiny. It is the result of lifelong conscious use of cosmic forces that vibrate through our human existence. It encapsulates the idea that our traits, shaped through intentional engagement with the energies around us, determine the quality of our experiences, and by harnessing these forces, we can better align ourselves with our goals and claim our rightful place in life. And this is it for today. Please subscribe, press a like button, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and in the words of William Shakespeare, always remember, it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. See you next week. Bye.